Isn't it so funny when people talk about letting go as if it's some type of process that we have to force? Because when we hear people talk about how you can only get your desires when you let go, you can only get your desires when you detach, what happens is we are enlisting our analytical mind, our logical mind, to force ourselves to let go. And that is not the true meaning of letting go. Letting go is not a process, it is simply an energetic shift. So let me explain. Why is letting go important? Letting go and detaching simply means I trust. So if there's any part of you that resists letting go, it's because you still don't believe that you are worthy of your desires. And that's why self-concept work is so important, because in order for you to get your desires, in order for you to get your manifestation, you have to normalize it. Which means if I'm trying to manifest $1 and I'm trying to manifest $10 or $100,000, there is no difference between any of those numbers, because I believe as much as it's easy to manifest $1 and as much as I'm worthy of $1, I'm also worthy of $100,000. It's the same of manifesting your specific person. So this is why a lot of people on the journey, they're like, I'm getting all the attention, but from my person. Why? Because you're putting so much weight on your person. You're telling yourself that if this person doesn't choose me, that means something about me. If I don't get $100,000, that means I'm blank. If I get $1, of course I get $1. It's $1, right? But if it's $100,000, oh, wait. If it's $100,000, what does that mean about me? And that is why it's so hard for us as humans to let go, because we are so attached to stories. We're so attached to the meaning that we give things. Detaching or letting go or surrendering is not a process of the mind. It is the process of the soul. So the more that you have a practice, the more that you have a ritual every single day to meet consciousness, to go beyond your mind, to connect with your soul, the easier it will be to let go and detach. And again, there will be no process to it. The only process, which is not even a process, is probably sitting in your meditation chair. This is my meditation chair, by the way. But sitting in your meditation chair and literally, putting your hands up and saying, I surrender this fear, I surrender this doubt to a higher power. That is the only process that you need to know of. And then, of course, you have all the other tools that can assist you in coming back to the present moment. I have been doing Joe Dispenza's meditations for almost 6 months now, regularly, 6 months. And I can tell you that the biggest shift that has happened in my life is the shift within myself. Like, I'm at this point where I don't care. I don't care about all the desires that I thought was really important. I actually remember like December 15th was when I started Joe Dispenza's meditations, and I told myself that I was going to be consistent. It's July now, so it's probably more than 6 months. But I wrote down all of the things that I wanted to manifest. Some of them have come true, some of them have not, but I don't even care for the ones that have not, because I'm not viewing those desires from a place of lack. Like, I genuinely believe I already have them. I genuinely believe I am already that. I've also talked about going to the Joe Dispenza retreat back in March and how I manifested that whole thing. And yes, I let go and I surrendered, but I never forced myself. Like, I just genuinely knew. I knew. Like, I went inside, into my body, into my imagination, and I just knew. And how did I just know? I decided. I don't think you guys understand, like, the power of deciding. Like, just decide. Like, this is what I am receiving. And it's not about pretending, right? Like, you can't really fake energy. That's the thing. You can't fake energy. You have to genuinely work on your energy. It's not even becoming delusional, because that is your truth. Like, the real reality is your imagination. And if you can give yourself your desires in your imagination, it is law that it has to come into your physical reality. And when you don't separate yourself from your desires, you're not waiting. You're not waiting, because you genuinely have it. You genuinely have it. And that's not delusion. I know that, some of you are going to watch this and be like, yeah, I'm manifesting my person, but he's not here. That's just one timeline you're identifying with. And it's the same with health. It's the same with manifesting a new self-concept. It's all about becoming the person that simply has what you desire. And when you can get into that knowing, you don't need a process to let go. You don't need a process to detach, because what are you detaching from? What are you letting go from? You already have that thing, right? And so if there are fears that come up, if there are doubts that come up, which is of course normal, we are humans with a brain, and our mind just always wants to know things. When all of that comes up, just know that it doesn't matter, because that is just your mind doing its job, right? And so in a previous episode, I've talked about this, how you don't even need your mind to manifest. Your conscious mind does nothing in the manifestation process. It is the one that tries to, control things and tries to get you to come up with like solutions. I'm obviously not saying that like your mind is not important, but I'm saying in the manifestation process, you don't need your mind as much as you need consciousness and energy and your subconscious mind, which is not your analytical mind. This is why people talk about hypnosis. If you needed your analytical mind so much, there would be no technique about the subconscious mind. And if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, but I still doubt that it's going to happen and I don't trust that it's happening, then it comes down to worthiness. Why do you think that you are not going to receive this? Because you're the only one stopping you. I talked about this in a video on TikTok about how I've manifested many things in my life through intention alone. So it's like I'm not even thinking about what technique to use, because again, techniques are not important. Like, what finally manifests is your belief, right? Like, technique is just used to get you into a specific state. But at the end of it, what manifests is going to be your state. It's your belief, like your knowing. At the bottom of it, it comes down to your knowing. And all of these techniques get you to that knowing. So yes, sometimes you don't need techniques to manifest. And I have manifested things easily, and like really big things, okay? Like things that you would think would be impossible. Like one of it is actually meeting Jay Shetty, because that year after I went through my breakup, I was listening to his podcast a lot, and I was like, wouldn't it be nice to meet him? And then I find out that he was coming to Singapore, that like literally after having that thought and not even researching anything, he literally was having like his world tour, book tour in Singapore. And I'm like, I just thought about that. Like, so many things in my life have happened that way. And it's because I come into the manifestation process in a very light and a very fun way, in a very pleasurable way. And I know that when you're in, a circumstance where it feels really crippling and it gives you so much anxiety, that can actually be really difficult. I understand that. But if you can just relax into your body and just know and trust that life is going to unfold anyway, that everything is going to be okay anyway. Everything is going to make sense anyway, right? Like, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, that's why that had to happen. So how can we not make letting go a process. The only and best advice that I can give you is to do inner work, do energy work. Really meet yourself every single day. You cannot tell me that it's not working when you're not doing the work. And what is the work? The work is you have to meet your consciousness every single day. You have to go beyond your mind. You have to know that you are more than just your mind and your body. The ones that come to me anxious and say, I don't think I'm going to get my specific person. I don't think I'm going to get this and that. And I'm like, it's because you have not met your consciousness. You literally don't believe that you have a soul because you don't have a relationship with soul. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you because you have a very strong relationship with your mind. The mind that is your inner critic, that chatters, the ego, it's not bad, right? It's like a radio frequency. You choose what you want to tune into. And right now you're heavily tuning into your mind. You don't know what it's like to have a relationship with your heart. So don't tell me that you've tried everything when all you've tried is 10,000 affirmations, logical mind. Repetition, logical mind. When are you going to go beyond your mind? Because your conscious mind does not, it's only one part of it. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. Some people are very type A like that, right? And it works for them. But if you've tried that and you're still anxious, what are you waiting for? Like, what is stopping you from actually doing the work? What is stopping you from sitting in stillness? And maybe you're listening to this and you're like, but I have meditated for 2 months or 3 months or 1 year and it's still not here. You have not stepped into the identity of it. You're still waiting for it. And waiting is an identity. I hope I'm not screaming. Am I screaming into this? I'm sorry. But it's like, I'm just really passionate about this because I do get a lot of people in my world that ask me the same question. And it's like, I've tried it all. No, you haven't. You haven't tried it all because you wouldn't say that. You literally would not spend energy to comment and say, I have tried it all. It won't even exist in your vocabulary. And I'm not saying this to invalidate your pain or your trauma or whatever that you're going through, but there has to be that moment where you just tell yourself, I'm done. Like, enough is enough. I like being at peace more than I want to be chosen by this person. I like feeling freedom more than I like feeling fear about money. And you have to have a certain mindset. Like, this is why only 1%, right? People always say that it's always that, like, that it's just that 1% that gets it. And why is it only 1%? Because it takes radical responsibility and honesty. Radical responsibility and honesty. If you're not able to be honest with yourself in your healing journey, you're not going to get anywhere. Because you're always going to sugarcoat yourself. Like, oh yeah, everything's fine. No, it's fine. I'll just, I want a chocolate ice cream, but, vanilla is fine. It's okay to have vanilla ice cream in the moment, but if you want chocolate, don't stop thinking about chocolate. But you're also not forcing anything because there is no force. Like, you're going to start to flow. When you meet consciousness, when you meet soul, it's almost laughable because you're like, oh my God. At one point, I thought I wasn't going to get this. That's so funny. That's so funny. That's hilarious. Like, my mind made me believe that. So in order for you to not make letting go a process, you need to meet consciousness. You need to connect beyond the mind. You need to connect with yourself beyond your mind. And when you get into that state, nothing is missing. Truly, nothing is missing. You're going to realize that everything you ever need is within you. That's one of my favorite Tony Robbins affirmation. He's like, all I need is within me now. All I need is within me now. Keep telling yourself that, especially when you wake up in the morning before you go to bed. All I need is within me now. All I need is within me now. By the way, I've been talking in the past few videos about how, your conscious mind is not important to manifest. I'm only mainly talking about like the manifestation process. Of course, it's still an important part of your life. It's the reason why I'm able to sit here and talk to you. But when it comes to manifesting, what is beyond the mind is actually more important. Manifesting is all energetic. I hope this video helped one person today, and don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, share this with anyone that you think might resonate with this message. Okay, and I'll see you next time. Bye.